It's preparing to go live. Good afternoon and welcome to a new, awesome, and amazing show that's launching today. I'm going to give you over to the brand new host, and Maggie is going to introduce her show to you. Maggie Naidu is a specialist when it comes to finding yourself and knowing who you are and getting behind your future by doing things that can clear your path for you. Maggie, the floor is yours, and welcome to the Entrepreneurs Live crew.
Hi, David. Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining us on this brand new show. The show here is for allowing you the opportunity to learn more about yourself and how you work, how your brain works, what it does, why does it do the things it does. So just remember that I'm not here to make you live the life that I think is good for you. I'm here to deliver a message to assist you wherever necessary by changing your beliefs, by helping you to react to things and how you do things, whether it's right or wrong. So the floor is endless. The amount of information you're going to receive is tremendous. So just sit back and enjoy. If you have comments or questions, you can leave them in the little link below, which I'm sure David will sort out. But yeah, as we go along, I am Maggie. I am your mind mechanic. I have my practice is the NLP Mind Mastery under the Believe Incorporated Training Center. And I practice neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and life coaching. So I am your all-in-one plus a bag of chips and happiness, all together. So let's just sit back, relax, and let's just go for it. I'm going to explain to you quickly what NLP is all about. Neuro-linguistic programming is your thinking process, the way you use your senses, the way you see, hear, feel, touch, taste, and smell, all those senses put together and understanding what actually happens around you. Okay, linguistic is your words, the way you use your words, the way you use your language, and how it influences you and those around you. Okay, your programming is your behavior. So how does this behavior organizes your ideas and your actions? How what produce what does it produce? What are the expected results or unexpected results according to your behavior? So some of the benefits of NLP and life coaching, and that is to help you with your critical thinking, improving your ability to solve problems, defining your outcomes, asking better questions, controlling your emotions. So how can I take control of my emotions and not break down in front of people? Your ability to be creative. So how can you unlock your potential within yourself? How can you increase the way you use your thinking skills? So how can I undo my limiting beliefs about my abilities? Or how can I create myself better? Some of the applications is through therapy, coaching, sport coaching, education, medical. So there's a whole list of stuff. So we also help you with communication. So how do you create powerful, meaningful connections with people, with corporate world, in general, normal life? Um, speaking with people according to their language style. We all can speak English, but our style of speaking is different. So I can speak to somebody that speaks slang, so I'm going to be at that same level as them. You always want to be at the same level of the other person so that understanding happens easily. There's nothing like somebody just not understanding a word you say. And if I had to use big words that you will never understand, you will be totally lost in the conversation. So we want to create compelling win-win outcomes in all aspects of our communication. And then also it's all about how can we accelerate our learning, the type of skills we use, the learning strategies that's involved. How can you improve your memory? Okay, so how can you just tap into your full potential? So I want to just discuss a small portion about how powerful is your brain. Do you realize how powerful that brain that sits in here protected by this hardcover is your brain is not hardwired. It can change, it can create new neural pathways, it can make new connections, and it can retract your old connections. We call this brain plasticity. Simply put, it means that the brain can change with learning and that all our thoughts are absolutely real. Some facts about your brain. So if your brain is dehydrated, say about 10% dehydrated, your brain is 50% less efficient, which means it's not working properly. It has 160,000 kilometers of blood vessels. That's a lot of blood in your brain. Okay, so protecting your brain is of vital importance. It is always switched on. It never, ever, ever rests throughout your entire life. If it did, you won't be listening to me right now. Okay, one brain cell is more complexly wired than the entire telephone network system of the world. So you tell me, what can you not do? Nothing is impossible. There is 100 billion neurons, as many as there are stars in the Milky Way. That's a lot of neurons. It's capable of 10 trillion operations per second. 10 trillion operations or actions per second. I will explain this whole concept in a moment. There is an absolute genius ability in every single one of us. We are limitless human beings. We have the capacity to learn and grow so quickly. Our brain is at least 1,000 times faster than the fastest supercomputer in the world. Now, if that's not powerful facts about your brain, then I don't know what else you're going to think about. So getting into a little bit more nitty-gritty, how do we actually take these concepts in, and how do we sort of sort them out? How does it work really? So we go by conditioning, and by conditioning I mean our thought process, right? Then we have our internal state, meaning how do we feel inside, our feelings and our emotions. So the thought creates the feeling and the emotion. It results in a type of behavior. That behavior is created by an attitude. So I can have an attitude of a don't care attitude, an excited attitude, a sad attitude. It just depends. So that results in an absolute result. How do we get to that result? There's a massive process that needs to happen by the process of filtering. Filtering means that when we take in information, the mind allows you, or the mind deletes, they distort, and it generalizes that entire lot of information that comes to you, and then produces a result that you see, do, feel, or have. Okay, so the results that we have in our lives are as a result of our behaviors. What we do and what we don't do determines our outcomes. Our internal state, meaning our feelings and our emotions, are responsible for our behavior. Our well-being at that time of the behavior impacts on what we do and how well we do it. So our state of mind, or our feeling, our emotions, are determined by what is being presented or processed by your unconscious mind at that time. So ultimately, our unconscious minds determine our results. So how powerful is your unconscious mind, if you would ask? I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of the iceberg. The iceberg. So imagine an iceberg. The iceberg is always the tip of the iceberg that peeks out the water, and below that is the balance of the iceberg. So the top part that's above the water is your conscious mind, what you are aware of. Okay. And what's below that water is the unconscious mind. So what's below the water? Have you ever wondered how big is that iceberg below the water? Or do you assume that the iceberg is only as big as what you can see on the top? So consider the size of that. So I would ask you, We are so conditioned to see only what we see on the surface. We never take the time to worry about what's beneath that surface and how big those things are under the surface and how we recreate things that's under the surface. So within us, if you look at yourself, what people see on the outside is whatever you decide to give off. But what sits in here or in here, only you know that. Only you can create and recreate that. I cannot change, I cannot think it for you, but you think it for yourself. So I can decide whether I'm a limitless person, or I can decide that, you know what, today I just don't feel up to it. I'm so limited, I just cannot go on. So I decide to do that, and I do it from within. So think about that for a while. Your unconscious mind controls 97% of your perception and your behavior, which means you are in absolute control of how your behavior and your perceptions are. It averages, like I said, 11 million bits of data per second. That's how much of information it can take. It sees in pictures and patterns. The impulses travel at a speed of more than 160,000, and I'll say that again, 160,000 kilometers per second. So all you speed fanatics, you know how fast that is. It does not know the difference between a truth or a lie. It can't tell real from imagined. It just believes whatever you tell it to believe. Everything you tell your unconscious mind is absolutely 100% true. And it works in an orderly manner. It stores all its memories using a timeline, and it's all in chronological order. And this is how you know the difference between the time between an event that happened, whether it's weeks, months, years ago, 20 years ago, it just depends. But that's how it knows the order. So the unconscious mind controls everything. It is the operating system for you and your body. It stores all of your memories, all of your beliefs, all of your habits, and generates all of your instincts. It regenerates cells in your body. It runs your heart. It controls your immune system. It controls 97% of your behavior. And you think that you are in charge for your decisions and your life. Well, could be if you follow the process well. So I spoke about the 11 million bits of information that you receive. So I want to just delve a little bit more into that. So it's all in your mind. Whatever goes there stays there. You put it there. You see it there. You decide what you want to take. Okay. So we are engaging on this YouTube channel right now. You are listening to what I'm saying. So you have a choice. You either listen to the outside environment and get distracted, or you focus on what's going on here and you listen to me. So you made a choice to do that. So here we go. Your mind is like a computer, like we said. Your brain is the hardware and your mind is the software. So you have unconscious and you have conscious software. So the conscious, your unconscious mind is the master of your entire being. Okay. Your unconscious mind has the 97% of beliefs and behaviors. Your unconscious mind processes all the information that you receive. It selects what you consciously recognize, what you consciously react to, and what you want to process. So what is your reality? Our unconscious mind takes in that 11 million bits of information per second. It selects only 126 bits per second. I'll say that again. 11 million bits of information per second comes at you. Your mind only consciously selects 126 bits per second to share with your conscious mind. That's like nothing, absolutely nothing. So, like I said, when that information comes to you, it comes to you by seeing your visual, sounds, hearing, feeling your hands, or whatever else you used to feel, tasting, smelling, your attitude, your memories, your beliefs, your language, the time and space that you have, um, all your decisions, all of that put together is all the information that you get. That's the 11 million bits. And by following the process that I'm going to discuss now, you only take in 126 by, number one, is filtration. The filtering that we do, like I said, deleting, okay, deletion. We delete the data that we do not want, that does not match our focus and our expectation. Example, we're having a conversation and you lose track of this conversation. Why? Because somebody enters the room. So what happens? You take your focus off here and you worry about that. So you are deleting information. So you're not going to necessarily hear and concentrate on what I am saying, but rather the person that walks in. Then we're going to distort. Distorting data makes it you distort it because it does not match your expectation, okay, or your focus. So for all you game fans, rugby and soccer fan, or your Man United and Liverpool fans, when the one scores against the other, what happens? Oh no, we scored. No, the ref was wrong. So, you one will see it as a good call, one will see it as a bad call. So you distort the information to match what suits you. Okay. Then you generalize. We generalize this data to make it fit into our categories. So it's like we are clumping things together. Like this bunch of people are cool, but these bunch, they just lazy and stubborn. Or that one's a bunch of nerds. These guys are like really, cool and chill to be with. So you generalize by grouping things together. Okay. Then we also have the way the mind works and some of the programs that it uses to sift the information. Okay, so the infrastructure of your brain. There's a whole big infrastructure in your brain that drives your behavior. Then you have values. As a human being, we all have values that we live by. So those filters that drive how we think, okay, are part of our values. We have beliefs that are based on our experience and our learning. We have decisions that we make about ourselves. Sometimes early on in life, they become our foundation of the decisions that we make. I may find if something has happened to me in my past, it will generate a feeling of unworthiness. Then I will feel unworthy when I'm making the decision that whatever I'm faced with. Then memories. We apply memories, our past memories of the past, to our current situation. So, if I let's just say I fell and got hurt, fell off my bike while I was riding when I was a little girl. So now I'm deciding to try and ride a bike again, God forbid. So if I'm going to try and ride that bike, I'm going to make sure I do not fall like I fell when I was little. So that memory will all automatically resurface. Okay. So that's how we make our decisions. Our language, it's our unique way of defining our data and our experience. So the way we think, the way we do things, our language is very important. Our attitude is the way we think, the way we feel. We attach those emotions to those specific events. It's like the bicycle example I used. I wasn't scared at the beginning when I rode my bike when I was little and I fell. Then I became scared. But now, given the size that I am, I will never want to just get on a bike and ride because I know fear is there. The emotion of getting hurt is there. So I will, make the decision according to how I feel. So time and space, matter and energy also plays a big role because we store everything. We store everything based on time. So I know I fell when I was little. So now that I'm much older, I will be careful. So all those things are taken into consideration. And it happens not as long as I took to explain it. It happens like this. It happens in seconds. Okay. That is how come from that entire process, we only have 126 bits of information that goes to your conscious mind for action. Now, that is a mouthful that I said, okay? But it's a mouthful to say, but it happens so quickly. So now do you understand the power of your brain? Our minds bring just entire quantum mechanics to life. At any point in time, we are presented with limitless number of options, limitless number of options in our future. The information we select represents what we choose to see as our reality. So we get to decide what we want to see, what we don't want to see. That is how reality is. So when you change your mind, you change your reality. So you have a choice. You have a choice to be the way you are. You have a choice to allow good things to happen, and you have a choice to allow bad things to happen. You also have the choice to change whatever it is that you're not happy with to something better. Because yes, your mind can regenerate all of that. It can change. So there's three ways to leverage the power of this entire mind of yours. Is focus on what you want. When you focus on what you want, then you know what it is you really desire. So remember I said that the mind does not know any negatives. It does not process negatives. So if I'm going to say I can't, I wouldn't, I shouldn't, I couldn't, all of those, your mind doesn't understand that. It's like saying I cannot lose or I can't lose this deal. All your mind knows is lose this deal. It doesn't know can't. So what is it telling your mind? Lose this deal. You need to tell your mind, I will win this deal. Even if you don't win it, that's fine. But you tell your mind the positive side of it. You don't have to say, I can't, or saying, I'm trying to think of another example. I don't think I'm going to be successful at the interview. I mean, you're already dampening the spirit of the interview. So change the concept. You know what? I am going to do my best at that interview. I'm going to tell them exactly what they need to know and the person that I am. So it's always the positive side of it. Don't say, oh, no, I'm not going to do well. I don't think so, or I'm not sure. Change the way you say things because you have the power to change it. And when you do that, it'll obviously come back to you. That's how it works. If you and the idea behind the whole process is shuffling the way you normally do something. So we break the chain, we break the pattern of how you do things. So your unconscious mind sees what it expects to see. So it's familiar with the way you always do it based on your pattern. What I do is I change the way that information is presented to you. And the last thing is asking questions. Whenever you come to issues, always ask, why am I here? Why did this happen? What do I need to learn? And what is it that what is it trying to teach me? So your mind is brilliant. It's supercharged, super capacity entity. So use it wisely. Use it wisely. I hope that was enough information for now. But yeah, next week we will do a little bit more. David?
That's awesome, Maggie. Thank you for sharing that awesome information. While I was chatting now to the people on YouTube, and it's quite awesome to see we've got people watching. I said to them, I want that computer that you're talking about, 11 million bytes per second.
It's
I
here.
can, bits per second. I want it. I want it now. I don't want it there. I want
It's
it
already
here.
there.
It's truly amazing. Maggie, thank you for that. That's
Yeah.
quite awesome. And
It's
ladies and
my job to
gentlemen,
teach you how to use it, David.
that's the awesome part about it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Maggie Naidu, and the Entrepreneur's Mind Mastery Series is going to teach you how to harness that power, how to work with it, and how to overcome a lot of things. So, guys, you cannot miss this. It's going to be every Monday, 1 p.m. Central African time. And Maggie is going to be teaching us and showing us exactly what we need to do. Maggie, it was awesome with
100%.
you today. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot again, and I'm really looking forward to the next show. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
everybody that listened,
Okay.
everybody that viewed today, details is on the link on YouTube. Please go make contact with her, and you can literally speak to her. Maggie is open always to speak to people. So just go and contact her on the different methods we've put out there. And we will see you tomorrow for another awesome show. And we'll be back Monday with Maggie on another awesome show.